Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I am Mick Alphanim. Today we got a little XRP news, a little bit of XLM news, a little Algorand, a little commercial real estate. We have it all in the chapters down below. Don't forget to click that like button. I would greatly appreciate that. Let's begin right here on finbold.com. And this article is titled XRP to the moon. To the moon, is that it? That's just the moon, just the moon? It must be the beginning if you're talking moon, because we're going way past the moon. Just my humble opinion, just my humble opinion. But the moon is not enough. So let's see what they're talking about here. It says crypto trading expert. Oh, an expert. Oh, I like to hear from them. They're reputable and hard to refute. Predicts 47% surge in price. Let's see what they're talking about here. All right. This is definitely not when there's mass adoption or regulatory clarity or we win the case, because there's going to be much more, possibly, no guarantees, okay? This is not financial advice. There will be way more than a 47% increase. I'm going to tell you that right now, but let's just read a little tidbit here. It says recent XRP trading has been unpredictable, with the token noticeably struggling. Oh man, it's struggling. To gain traction. I love it when they say that. I'm like, you do know what XRP can do, right? You've seen what's going on. You've seen the bank yesterday. The other day they brought in they know. They're just toying around here. Noticeably struggling to gain traction in the highly competitive cryptocurrency market, which even the banks now are coming out saying that in the future blockchain is going to dominate. You saw what Citibank said the other day. Heck, we just keep getting confirmations. It's true. It says its price coincidentally crashed 14% from its 2023 high of 58 cents. I told people it was going down. Didn't I say it was going to go back down? I said that, right? Because you could see the pump. You could see how they were pumping it up. And, you know, they kept talking about the group that was moving together in Korea that pumped the prices up. I'm like, well, they're going to take profit at some point. And then once they start taking profit, then all the other people that jumped in thinking they could get a profit are going to pull their profit out, pull their money out. It's going to come down a little bit. You know, I think that was just logical. And now you see it came down a little bit. It'll go back up again. But there's going to be logical volatility. Just watch the catalysts. You know, we're not mind readers here. We're just watching what's actually going on. Anyway, so crashed from 14% from its 2023 high of 58 cents before a slight rebound after TV personality Jim Cramer. You really want to? Oh my goodness, Jim Cramer. After TV personality Jim Cramer said the Securities and Exchange Commission, quote, may not even win its lawsuit against Ripple. I think that's one time I'm going to agree with Jim Cramer. What is going on? The Cardinals in my bush. I swear, do you know what internet trolls are, right? Like the Cardinals are literal trolls. Every time I'm down here, they must like me. You hear that? They just keep tweeting. Give me a little bit of time, buddies. I feed them seeds and stuff like that, but they are vicious. They fight each other. They fight the Robins. These Cardinals, you guys didn't let me know. Cardinals are brutal. Anyway, they got to be quiet for a minute. Let me get this. Mr. or Miss Cardinal, can I get the video done? You hear that? They actually got quiet. However, there may be a glimmer of hope for the token as it approaches a critical level that could trigger a significant surge in price. Crypto analyst Ali Martinez suggested on April 11th that XRP could see a massive 47% increase. Muy linda, mi gente. Let me tell you something. That's not where it could go. It could go much higher than that, but it would be fun. I want to have some fun. I want the people to have some fun. Let the good times roll. I'm ready for the good times to kick off. I don't know about you, but that's just how I feel. It says increase if it manages to secure a 3-day candlestick close above the 54-cent level. I'm going to leave it right there. Once again, that is on finbold.com. If you want to see the rest of their analysis, they have a lot of good charts on this article. There's a lot more here. All right, just wanted to touch on that lightly. Let's get to some serious news here. So now, this article here is from zcrypto.com, and it's titled XRP Lawsuit. John Deaton highlights 4 likely outcomes in the Ripple versus SEC suit. All right, let's read what he has to say. John Deaton, founder of digital asset news firm Crypto Law, has expressed confidence in Ripple bagging a win. I'm very confident as well. Against the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission in the ongoing securities lawsuit. On April the 11th, Deaton, who is currently representing tens of thousands of XRP holders, all our warriors, right, on the front lines, as amicus curiae, shared his thoughts on the lawsuit, telling of the possible outcomes even as a summary judgment nears. According to him, it was clear that the SEC's approach to the case was flawed from the beginning. I agree with that. Harvard Law agrees with that. Many great lawyers agree with that, setting the agency up for failure. Heck, even Jim Cramer apparently agrees with that. And I mean, typically, Jim doesn't do very well. No disrespect, sir. But I agree with him on that. I think even he's correct on this one. He highlighted Hinman's assertions in 2018 that Ether and Bitcoin are not securities. A statement that he said suggested that other tokens, including XRP, were not securities. Okay, let's scroll down. I want to get right to the crux of what he's trying to say here. It says, Ripple poised to win. That I like here. And of course, DM then shared his thoughts on the lawsuit's outcome, noting that the SEC was likely to lose to Ripple in one of 4 possible outcomes. Quote, in my opinion, the first possible outcome is an outright Ripple win where the judge says there's no investment contract involved. I would love to hear that. There's no post-duty sale obligations. Oh, yeah, that sounds so good to me. Unquote, he said. According to Deaton, Judge, the Honorable Judge Annalisa Torres, could also rule that Ripple violated securities law. Okay, we know that. I'm not going to skip the negatives and all that. We know about that. The third outcome is that the SEC wins outright. I don't think that's going to happen, but we consider that we keep it balanced here, and then we would take that to Supreme Court and absolutely dominate them. Let's move on here. Additionally, the fourth scenario is nobody wins. Neutrality. It shall go to the jury for comments and eventual determination. That said, despite the case being in an advanced stage, the lawyer expressed hope in the possibility of the parties entering a settlement before summary judgment, insisting that the plaintiffs were ready. I say let's dominate them, win outright, and let's move forward powerfully, set the standard. All right. It says, quote, Ripple has agreed that they would settle the case before. Their general counsel and their CEO have publicly stated that they would settle today if the SEC would agree to ongoing future sales, secondary market sales. Okay, I think that was a little bit of a typo there, but this is good information to have. Once again, that's on zcrypto.com, just in case you want to read it for yourself. If I didn't convey those things as clearly as possible, I may not have. I don't know. Oh man. So let's move on to another article here. Quick little joke. Which joke should we do today? Real short one. What did the one hat say to the other hat? You wait here, I'll go on ahead. What did the left eye say to the right eye? Between you and me, something smells. You get it? I know they're like, alpha name. That's too simple. That's too simple. You heard my other jokes in other videos. I'm trying to hold back because I have to sort of how can I say it? They're not safe. My other jokes, I know they're not safe. So they put out some family friendly ones, right? So anyway, so now moving on here. This is from twitter.com. Once again, I'm Fief, and they continue to push Ripple to the front. You understand the power that Amphif has and their Digital Monetary Institute has. This is what they tweeted here. All right. And Ripple retweeted this time. Right. It says, is connecting CBDCs a viable means of improving cross-border payments? And always keep that in mind. All that money that's flowing through CBDCs, we're trying to connect it all. XRP, Quant, Stellar, Algorand. We're moving tons of that value if everything goes according to plan. So always keep that in mind. It's not just about developing CBDCs or having CBDCs deployed on chain, but connecting them all in a way that they can't do themselves. That's trillions of dollars, right? So we just have to watch the catalyst and hopefully everything goes according to plan. We'll see. But it says this here, James Wallace. Every time James Wallace comes out, something major is about to happen. They don't bring him out. They don't bring him out unless there's a big deal to close. There's people to impress. We know this. We've been through this many a time. So I'm ready for another major announcement, maybe the middle of this summer. But let me finish reading this here. It says, James Wallace of Ripple will be discussing this and more with a panel of experts. Who's going to be on that panel? That's what we need to find out. This could be, we can get some good information out of this. Every single time James Wallace does an interview or there's a transcript release, we usually go over it, whether it's in a regular video or in the members only section. And every single time without fail, he drops some major information. So this is big in my humble opinion. So it says he will be with a panel of experts at the DMI Symposium. This is going to be happening in May. So we need to add this to our calendars, May the 10th and the 11th. 2023. So this could be very good. Of course, James Wallace is the vice president of central bank engagements of Ripple. And this is what I'm saying. The only time he comes out when something major is happening. Other than that, he doesn't need to sort of come off of his throne. It's the same way like when you see Algorand and you see Silvio McCauley doing anything, you know something major is occurring. It's the only reason people of that stature are activated, right? They're like major pieces on the chessboard. So this gets me very excited here. So May the 10th and the 11th, we'll see what happens. We'll see what information we can get out of that. All right. So now let's move on here. Little bit of Stellar news. Stellar keep doing good. Oh man, between you and Cello, you really stepped it up this year. I'm very, very excited. This is from Bit Global on Twitter. Whoo, look at what they're doing here. It says, thank you to our strategic partners who attended our cocktail party during 2023. Oh, that's nice. A little cocktail party. I wonder who was there. It says at IMF. Bit has a cocktail party with the IMF. Boom. World Bank. Let me calm down. I'm sorry. My apologies, everyone. I'm trying not to get too excited. Every once in a while, I feel fired up. I do today. The IMF, Bit, constant collaborator with Stellar, is having a cocktail party with the IMF and the World Bank. Something major is getting cooked up, folks. It says spring meetings in Washington, D.C. So these are not the only meetings they're going to be having. See you all at our next event. They even posted the pictures just to let you know who they're with. Major things getting cooked up, folks. Let's move on to this next little bit of information here. This is from Stellar at Stellar.org. It says at Finclusive Cap and Clap FinTech are using Stellar to make cross-border payments faster and more affordable. Discover the power of blockchain remittances in our latest article. More companies building on Stellar. We just continue to just accumulate companies. Imagine when everything goes off and all these companies, all these people, retail users, B2B users are using wallets. They have to hold lumens, surge pricing, right? Liquidity provider, liquidity pools, automated market maker, liquidity pools, all of these things happening. What will it do to that price? Of course, it's going to take time, in my humble opinion. Not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Doesn't matter to me whether you have XLM or you don't. I simply just express my opinion. Nothing more than that. That's it, okay? But I'm very excited. I'm a long-term holder and believer in Stellar XLM, and things are looking very good. Very, very good in my humble opinion. But let's read this little tidbit here. It says, according to the World Bank, remittances to low and middle income countries grew an estimated 5% in 2022, reaching over $620 billion. I can't wait. Somebody set off the flare. Let Stellar unleash already. When Stellar unleashes, do you really believe it's going to stay at, 10 cents, 9 cents? Do you really believe that it's going to fly past where it was before in the last bull run, in my humble opinion? We didn't have half as many as the businesses building on Stellar and trying to use Stellar to replace Swift like we do now. We at least tripled the amount of businesses that are utilizing Stellar now. Imagine where that price is going to go in the future when there's regulatory clarity. And like I said, I'm just sharing my enthusiasm. I'm not trying to convince you of anything. I'm just excited myself, right? $620 billion. But let's continue on here. It says, but traditional methods of cross-border transfers can be a hassle. Hidden fees. This is something that's continuing. They haven't solved this yet. Hidden fees, slow processing times, we know that. And high costs make sending money overseas a headache. We know all of that. Globally, sending remittances cost an average of 6.3%. Listen, we're going to dominate We're winning in every possible way. The White House is calling us. We're working with the United Nations, EveryNet, LightNet, Velo, Stronghold, Bit, the Ukraine, all the different projects we have going on in Africa, right? Well, like Uganda and a couple of other African countries where they're going to be tokenizing massive amounts of commodities, right? Akon City and all that different types of stuff. We have so many things going on. I'm very excited about the future of Stellar. That's just my humble opinion. All right, let's move on here. In the midnight hour, she cried mo. What's that song called? I know I'm terrible with song names. In the midnight hour, mo. What is that song called? Oh my word, I can't remember it. My apologies, everyone. When I can't remember something, it's like a thorn in my mind. But anyway, that Billy Idol and that Cyndi Lauper song, whatever they're called. Let me know in the comment section. Don't do that to me. Let me know what they're called in the comment section. Just help me out, just in case I can't remember. You're talking about songs. What are you guys doing? You're unprofessional. Let's get back to the news here. So this article here is from Cointelegraph.com. And it's titled Web3 Economy to Gain More Traction in Africa Through DeFi-Based Financial Inclusion. DeFi-based financial inclusion serves to increase liquidity and earning opportunities for African micro entrepreneurs through fund banks. What? Fund bank again? Fund bank? Oh my goodness, the bank coins just keep winning. Fund bank. Partnership with Tandem. Let's scroll down here, all right? Web3 in Africa began with cryptocurrency, with blockchain technology. Hedera's in there. Don't forget, you got to put DLT because Hedera is hash graph. They're deep in Africa. Africa is winning right now. They're setting themselves up for a massive amount of success in the future, taking control of their commodities, their power. I mean, hey, listen, if Africa keeps going in that direction, they have a very beautiful future. I mean, they're doing things very well right now, in my humble opinion. There's going to be a lot of capital flowing through there. The bank coins are in deep, so bank coin holders will also benefit, but Africa itself is going to benefit from the new financial system. It just means a new age of domination on every possible level for anybody who's utilizing these technologies or holding certain aspects of those systems, right? Says the Web3 economy in Africa continues gaining traction with decentralized finance-based financial inclusion. Fundbank Web3 on-ramp that allows Africans to obtain cryptocurrency assets by exchanging their airtime credits has partnered with Tanda, a merchant network platform in East Africa, to launch an airtime trading market across Tanda's network of agents. The partnership between Tanda agents and vendors in East Africa can increase liquidity in the market through the buying and selling of prepaid airtime for profit. This in turn can create opportunities for agents to earn revenue and also allow them to store their profits in dollarized stablecoins. But what you're seeing is that the new financial system is all coming together. They're starting to just blend together, and they're absorbing legacy system offerings also. So this is very, very good in my humble opinion. Keep your eyes on Africa. Africa, Latin America, the BRICS nations, what's going on with de-dollarization. Keep your eyes on the debt, United States debt, as well as the global debt. There's so many things to keep our eyes on, but stay abreast and privy of all the different catalysts, and you'll be able to make the best decisions possible for you. No one has to tell you what to do. If you have good information, you make the best decisions for yourself. You know, a lot of subscribers here on this channel, they have become tremendous researchers. Tremendous. They've done a tremendous job. All right. And that's what you really want to do. You want to be able to search for catalysts, search for information, and see it for yourself, analyze it for yourself, and then you'll be able to sleep better at night, making your own decisions and taking control of your own life. All right, that's what we promote here. So now, let's move on here. I'm going to skip an article, all right? And I want to go here to Financial Times. This is about commercial real estate. So it's titled, Commercial Real Estate is Bruised but Not Broken. Is that so? It was written by Megan Green, all right, of Financial Times. I like to read contrasting ideas, right? I don't just like to just see one side of an issue. I want to hear a lot of different sides, then I can decide for myself what I believe to be the truth, right? So let's read this here. a little bit of a different perspective on commercial real estate than what we've been discussing lately. It says there is a clickbait argument that because the Federal Reserve has raised U.S. interest rates so far and so fast, small banks, which provide almost 70% of commercial real estate lending, are likely to see significant defaults. I would agree with that. Okay. It says, and when those loans go bad, they will face solvency issues. I also feel that way. Okay, I guess you're going to say something different. But to paraphrase Mark Twain, quote, reports of bank deaths are greatly exaggerated. You sure about that? They said, so many pros have said over at least or nearly something like that. Look it up for yourself. 200 banks are at risk right now, in addition to the ones that already collapsed. So I don't know. I will agree to disagree. Let's continue on here. CRE does pose risks for U.S. lenders. Okay, so we agree on that. But they should be manageable. That's opinion. I guess I could respect that. You know, you're saying they should be manageable. I guess you're basing that on experience over the years, right? I could respect that. It says, according to Bloomberg analysts, U.S. banks and thrifts hold 39% of outstanding commercial real estate debt. Of that, small lenders, defined by the Federal Reserve as those outside the top 25 by assets, hold about 2/3. Roughly 32% of total CRE debt is repackaged into commercial mortgage-backed securities, CMBS, held by federal agencies and mortgage pools. And around 10% of CRE loans are held by insurance companies. Since banks are still the biggest category of CRE lenders and therefore the most exposed to risk, the bank failures of mid-March and recent high-profile defaults in the U.S. by property giants such as Brookfield and PIMCO have underscored the potential for stress. According to S&P Global, the number of banks exceeding regulatory guidance on CRE loan concentration rose for the 7th consecutive quarter in the final 3 months of last year. Just read this next little tidbit. Commercial real estate is facing a trifecta of challenges. Rising interest rates have reduced the net present value of properties and pushed up mortgage costs. According to RCA CPPI National All Property Index, U.S. commercial property prices have fallen 9% over the past 7 consecutive months. This drop, when annualized, is the biggest since 2010. Woo. And then this article gets very deep, but we're going to stop there. Okay, if you want to hear the rest of that article, head over to FT.com. That's Financial Times, right? FT.com. Check this article out. It is very well written. It is very good. Once again, it's titled, let's scroll back to the top so you can find this easily. It was on their front page, but they might move it. It's titled, Commercial Real Estate is Bruised But Not Broken by Megan Green, right? Very good article there. All right, so now let's move on and we're going to close out with this one today. This is very, very interesting if it will ever load. It's titled, Goldman Sachs no longer expects Fed rate hike in June. Let's scroll down here and see what they're saying here. That's pretty bold. I think that they would do rate hikes no matter what. There is no way that if they stop, I'm confirming it's a controlled demolition. There's no way that they can stop right now until they bring it all the way down to where it's supposed to be. But let's see what they have to say. It says economists at Goldman Sachs no longer expect the U.S. Federal Reserve to raise interest rates in June, according to a research note published on Wednesday following data that showed consumer prices cooled faster than expected in March. Goldman Sachs had previously expected consecutive rate hikes at the Fed's May and June meetings. Economists led by Jan Hatzius said in the research note that they still expect a rate hike in May. I expect them to continue to do rate hikes until they bring inflation down to where they wanted to bring it. I don't know why they would stop. I mean, no, I understand the logic, actually. Because they're hurting the economy, they're crushing the small banks, they're crushing small businesses. There's a bevy of problems that are coming because they've been alleged to be increasing the rates too fast. I don't think they were increasing rates fast enough, to be quite honest. I'm standing on that. But we will see what happens. I'll tell you what, if they don't raise rates in June, it's party time. People are going to have fun in the markets, but we will see. So now that you have that information, What are you going to do with it? I know what I'm going to do with it. So until next time, let's get to, that wasn't a good slap. Let me do it again. Let's get to the money.